You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast
delivering player experience news.
Let's go!
You do not have to miss E3 because it never really went away. And welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 195. 5 away from 200. Get excited. I am one of your hosts, the perennial dating app swiper from Portland, Oregon, Christian Macias, and I'm joined over Discord, as always, by Kentucky's #1 Spartan and PXN founder, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM.
That's me. No, I don't know. That's the best I had. Sorry.
I'm just letting everyone sit in that. We're also joined today, of course, by the president of the Tifa Lockhart fan club. Oh, we got news on that today. He's also the Nintendo aficionado and the artist extraordinaire at Roro.
Hello. Getting ready for everybody Switch 1-2 later this month, everyone?
No, stop.
No?
Stop it. Stop that right now. Alas, no Gage Dempster, the Tarkov Teletubby, today. He is off working. I think he's calling to work. Inshallah, no injuries to Gage's fingers today. Okay. Of course, everyone, thank you for watching us live and participating in the chat. Kierat Craft, talking to you. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube. Just search Podcast PXN. Also on twitch.tv/Podcast PXN. The topic of this... I'm sorry. The topic of the show this week is the Not-E3 2023 Summer Showcase Recap, going over everything of the biggest items from the biggest showcases that happened this week and giving our thoughts on them. Of course, the show always starts with the quick bites and the PXN news of the week, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Only a few quick bite items. I try to keep it short because the topic of the show is going to be meaty. The bulk of the show will be there, so we're going to run through some smaller news items. First, quick bite. Overwatch 2, they showed off their pricing plans for the season, including their new story missions. You're going to get 3 of those. You'll have them forever, but it's only story missions for that season. That's $15. You will have to pay $15 for more story missions down the line. So obviously, Overwatch fans are incredibly mad, considering that the whole reason why they made a second game was to make a PvE co-op mode that has been scrapped, and now they're asking for more money for these kind of half-baked story missions. I get it. I get the frustration.
Yeah, for sure. It's a bummer. Overwatch, I've fallen off of it. I really liked the first one, the multiplayer side of it. I was excited for the story mission stuff. It's just crazy because Overwatch should be such a popular franchise, and I guess in some circles it is. But it's interesting how crazy they fumbled it, because Overwatch should be like a slam dunk. I feel like the type of game it is.
They keep making the worst decisions over there. I don't get it.
The crazy part is I thought that this was going to be free because of them like stripping back their single player content, but apparently
it's
not.
Blizzard. It should be included in the season pass. You are right, though.
Yeah.
In my opinion. The same way Dungeons should be part of, the whole thing in Destiny, but I digress. Some tragic news here. Embracer, remember them? They've been buying everything in the video game industry. Well, some of their stock nosedived. Shares in the company nosedived by over 40% last month. After the Swedish company said a major $2 billion partnership had fallen through unexpectedly. So now, in response to this, they're going to close some studios. They are canceling unannounced games, and they are canceling announced games as well. A lot of people are going to be affected by this. We don't know the extent of it yet. We just know that it's coming, and it's very tragic for the industry.
There's any small amount of bright spot to this story, it's that if you're a fan of Tomb Raider or if you're looking forward to Perfect Dark, neither of those projects were affected by this, probably because of it being contractually obligated by them. But yeah,
sure.
Awful for the rest of the people, though.
They grew way too quickly, and yeah, like you're saying with that That was I remember when the deal fell through and that CEO, I guess it was, having to give that speech. It's like, oh, we're really sad about this, and he looked very sad, very sad. But yeah, he I think they just bit off a little too much at the front there. Kind of should have taken it a little bit slower, obviously.
We've got news on Titanfall 3. Insider Gaming with their headline, Titanfall 3 was 10 months into development before it was canceled. And I thought, was this recent? Was this maybe a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? No, it was back right after Titanfall 2 came out. But it makes sense. So in this interview with Mohammed Alavi, the next developer at Respawn, they were talking about kind of the response to Titanfall 2 and their immediate kind of work on Titanfall 3. In this interview, I'm kind of just breaking it down that way I don't have to read. It's kind of a lot of quotes. Essentially, the story team for Titanfall 3 was creating levels, but they were nowhere as kind of revolutionary or evolutionary from Titanfall 1 to Titanfall 2. There was nothing that was better than Titanfall 2, he was saying, essentially. And the multiplayer team that was still working on Titanfall 2, working on that game right after launch. So there was nothing quite ready there for Titanfall 3. And they were saying kind of like, look, a lot of people like Titanfall 2, but it's a small group of people. And those group of people that like it are not in it for the long haul. Like, it's kind of a harder game to like, it's intense, right? So like, even people who are used to like more like Call of Duty shooters and etc., because of the way Titanfall works, it's harder to maintain an audience over a long period of time. This is when PUBG came out. Suddenly a bunch of developers on the Titanfall team started playing PUBG, were enjoying it so much that like this is when Titanfall 3, or what it was going to be, then shifted into Apex. And now we have Apex.
Interesting. Like every time I hear the stories that have been coming out where they like there's behind the scenes things where, oh, there might be a Titanfall 3 coming, and then it's announced that it's something else, and I'm like, why don't they just make Titanfall 3? But I guess they have the numbers and they've done the research, and I think it's, I guess, for the best that they just don't make a game for the sake of making a game, and if they don't think that the game is going to be better than what they've already made, I think it's, I guess, honestly, a smarter move to not release it and put out a game that they can't be proud of. So, I mean, good on them on that part. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who would love this to happen, but I think it's probably a smart idea, I guess.
I agree.
Yeah.
Adding one quick thing here to, I'll just type it here. Last quick bite item. A new football game, soccer game, is coming. This time from 2K and in Lego form. A new football game titled Lego 2K Goal has been rated in South Korea. Now, I don't know if I'll play this, but I'm looking at this image. It looks insanely cute. I don't know if it has anything to do with the actual game, but I don't know, man. Just more Lego games, you know what I mean? Like a Lego soccer game. Cute enough. I wanted to mention it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
I'm surprised.
Do something different.
Yeah, I'm surprised 2K hasn't gotten into football in the past, honestly.
Look at you.
Look at you. I know, I decided to go with it. I was like, all right. But yeah, that is cool. Cool.
That's it for our quick bites. And guess what? Our news of the week is our topic of the show. So hold off there. Hold off. Just wait for us. Wait a couple more minutes. Instead, we're going to move on over to our fantasy draft check-in. Last week, Ro had picked up Dordogne.
Nailed it.
Thank you. Reviews are out. Currently on OpenCritic, that is sitting at an 81, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
That should be 11 whole whopping points for Roshan Warner.
Yes. Let's go. It was at 79 when I checked last time, so I'm glad I went up a little bit. But heck yeah. Proud of this team. I think this is their first published game as well. So hell yeah, good for them.
I completely forgot that I had picked up Final Fantasy 16 at some point.
Oh,
I guess when we did the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Give me some points next week. Yeah, give me some points next week.
I still can't believe I picked up Hellblade 2, and then literally 2 days later I had to drop it. I just
so sad.
Love to see it.
So
That's one of your drops gone and wasted.
Yeah.
Love it. Sweet. I hold on. Control Shift T. We haven't done this in a while. Let's look at the current lineup of points. Florida Man Publishing. That is Gage. He's at 11 points for his fantasy draft this year. Saliva Gang PDX. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just want to remind everyone as well, he has a budget of $2 left, which is not enough to buy another game.
But we did find out that you can trade games for money.
Right. Oh.
I
But is
did,
anybody going to
but-
help Gage out, though?
No.
I would, I would if he gave me a
Oh,
good
okay.
game because I got some money. But I think that's something you have to turn on because I didn't see anywhere where in our league that you could use do trades. So
And it might be at the beginning of the year before you
Yeah.
even start the thing. So
next year maybe.
Gotcha.
yeah. Or Gage does have Starfield though, so points are probably coming.
True.
Saliva Gang PDX, that's me. I am sitting at 43 points. I still only have 2 games on the dock here, but I gotta buy some games, man. I gotta fill out this list. Big yikes. Roshan, the Lockharts, 61 points. Second place for you so far. And I guess that's it. That's everyone in the fantasy draft.
Yeah.
Halo Infinite will eventually be almost at 343's Halo 3. That's of course Daniel. Man on a mission, 110 points on the fantasy draft.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And I'm about to use the last of my drops, I believe, in terms of games that aren't releasing, because I think you get one that is releasing this year that you can drop. But yeah, because I just dropped both Hellblade 2 and I also dropped, what was the other one? Oh, Stalker 2, because they posted an update that I'm like, yeah, there's no way that game's coming out this year. So
Okay. Again, at this point, I'm just gunning for second place. Not even for first. I'm trying to get second.
You got some bangers coming. Both of you have some bangers coming. There's an open competition here.
We hope. All right, before we get into the topic of the show, let's catch up. What you got for us, Daniel?
I went back to Zelda, and started playing some more of that. Just continuing to grind there. The sad part is I don't think I played Zelda at all last week because I was so busy doing 20 million other things. That I went back this week and I looked at my my map and I was like, holy shit, I've only discovered like literally maybe a fifth of the map. And I think I'm like 25 or 30 hours in. I'm like, well, it's gonna be a while.
Pump those numbers up.
Yeah. So yeah, having a lot of fun still with Zelda, of course. But also, I just wanted to pop this in here as well. Thank you to anyone who watched my predictions videos for Summer Game Fest, because I like doing those every year. My Xbox predictions somehow got 2,000 views, which I've never had that for predictions videos before. So I was like, that was really cool. So yeah, if you watched, thank you.
Let's go.
Congratulations to Dan. Pumping those numbers out on YouTube.
Heck yeah.
Bro?
I played a little bit of Zelda, not much, but yeah, I was a little busy myself this week as well with some other things, some projects and stuff. But yeah, didn't play many video games this week, unfortunately. Still with this little time I spent with Zelda, it was good. I'm excited to get back to it. Hopefully, some Street Fighter 6 in my future. I'm hoping. I still want to get that game. Still want to try that out. But yeah.
The jiggle physics keep popping up on my Twitter. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Dead or Alive is back.
I forgot about those games, but you're right. Those definitely did have juggle physics. Of course, for me, more TOTK. I actually took a break this weekend. Wasn't feeling well and just did not have the energy to play. But I got back into it last night, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I did some stuff in it that like I completely forgot about. Like there was a moment in the trailer where you kind of saw it. Yeah, I forgot I was in the game. I did my first labyrinth. Oh man, I'm kissing 70 hours in it. and I still have only done 2 of the regional phenomena. A lot more to go. A lot more to go.
I can't wait to like maybe early next year, or maybe this time next year, be able to freely talk about it with you guys and just like spoil the heck out of it. Just
Dude,
So
I'll be ready to go next month, dude.
okay. Damn. Daniel's like, I don't
I
know.
don't know if I will be.
Dan loves to not play the games he buys.
Yeah.
I also downloaded and played the Lies of P demo. Did not complete the full demo. I had seen enough, I think. As you know me, I'm a big From Software fan. But the Souls, like not ripoff sounds mean, but you know what I mean. Like the inspiration, the Souls like light games from other developers never really hit for me. There's always like a level that feels off, specifically with the gameplay. Lies of P is the closest that you can get without it being a From Software game. It's pretty close, but it's still not all the way there. And I've noticed a few people talk about like how, specifically with like the dodging, isn't the greatest in Lies of P. It's not enough to completely throw it off. But my specific thing with Lies of P that I'm like, I'm not gonna play it is that like, yes, it is essentially Bloodborne but steampunk, with Pinocchio. And that can be cool if you're just wanting to play a game that feels like Bloodborne but isn't Bloodborne. But for me, like, the thing that From Software has that other games don't is this level of atmosphere and overall, like, mystique and je ne sais quoi, and almost a layer of, like, bit of the eerie and the uncanny going on, like, in everything that they do. That feels missing in Lies of P. That's where it feels like the most like, wow, it is such a direct translation from Bloodborne or like From Software, except for this one major aspect where it doesn't feel like the tone is hitting. Like NPCs are too explicit with me. They're not creepy enough. It's like, oh, you're not powerful enough for this. I'm like, there are other like small incremental changes that could make it feel like truly like they're capturing the spirit of it, while still being a ripoff, I guess. And for me, it's not enough to like really engage me. I did, however, really mess up that first boss once I got into the groove of combat, which is pretty fun. So if you're into Souls-like games, you'll probably like Lies of P because it's pretty close. And I also, last thing is that I was finally convinced to download the Final Fantasy 16 demo. Now, have I played it yet? No, but I'm going to before the start of before the game releases, because I really want to play that game, and I heard nothing but great things, so I can't wait.
Oh yeah, and your save transfers apparently. I haven't been able to play it yet either, but I've heard great things. One demo is transfer your saves. God, thank you.
First of all, it's great to even have a demo for a first-party game of this caliber. Love to see that, but yeah, you're spot on, dude. When it can carry over to the main game, especially a huge RPG like this, it's like they're respecting my time. I love that.
Didn't they say it's like multiple hours long too?
It's like 2-ish hours, and yeah, once you beat the demo, you unlock the second demo.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the first part is the opening of the game. It's like the very first like 2-ish hours, and then once you beat it, you can do like, I forgot what it's called. It's like a boss thing. This certain section that they've shown off before, but it's like way later in the game, so you don't have to do it, especially if you don't want to be like spoiled in terms of like gear or mechanics. But yeah, if you want to play the intro, it's free right now.
hell yeah!
And I'm gonna assume Gage is playing Midnight Club LA. Okay. Swag, that's like 20 minutes of show. We have the rest of our time to go through all the major announcements in our topic of the show, the Not 2023 Summer Game Showcase recap. Oh my god! I don't like that. I do not like that. Can I adjust this volume? Why?
That was awesome.
Take me there.
I won't do it again. I'm sorry.
How did you do that?
That was awesome.
At least once.
What the fuck?
There's like these Discord sounds now. And
Is there a moan?
No, not yet. I think you can make your own sounds though, so we could make our own. But I just found it here and I was like, oh, I gotta do this at least once. Yeah, there we go.
What the heck?
Nah, man, that's good. That's dangerous.
Oh my god.
Okay,
But you can
how's it going though?
adjust the volume if you want to, apparently.
You know what? I had a lot of complaints with Discord, especially with their display names, but this one small change is
Like that one's
kind of
good,
welcome.
okay.
It's kind of nice, yeah. So I think I went through and did this in mostly alphabetical, chronological order based on when the showcases were shown, I guess. So we're going to start with SGF, Summer Game Fest, Geoff Keighley's show. Thank you, by the way, for those that watched with us. I think I was mostly there for the whole thing. And I think Rock, Paper, Shotgun, I think they have everything in release order that it was shown off. So it'll be just like we're reliving the show together. As always, I'm gonna say what was in it, and if you want to talk about it, we stop and we talk about it.
Christian, before you start,
Tell me.
Kirik has a brilliant idea. He said, "Don't tell Gage about the sounds, and then use them the next time he's on."
Dude,
but then,
yeah.
we don't react like there's nothing wrong with it. Like
Oh, he's totally normal.
Yeah.
or that we just don't hear it at all.
Yeah.
And he's the only one hearing it.
I'm gonna need. Ro has the best memory of us. When we introduce Gage next episode, that's when we do it.
Hell
Okay.
yeah.
All right, a fantastic idea. God, I love gaslighting pranks. Okay, anyway, Summer Game Fest, Geoff Keighley show. The very first thing shown off, surprise from a Ubisoft original, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, a new Metroidvania game. They just a trailer for it, and they were going to show off more Ubisoft Forward. We'll get to that when we get to that. But Prince of Persia, Lost Crown, automatically I thought piqued my interest. I thought it looked great. And from Ubisoft Forward, yeah, I'm all in. Metroidvania, cool time powers. Not the original Prince, but like there's been multiple Princes. I don't care.
Yeah, definitely liking the style of the game, and the action and gameplay looks really fun. So I am down for this as well. I'm not a Prince of Persia guy, and that's only because I haven't played any of them. So maybe I can become one. But this one looks cool.
Hell yeah. Agreed.
Then we got into a disgusting look at Mortal Kombat 1. Absolutely brutal trailer that they've played at Summer Game Fest. I was mortified at some of these fatalities, but yeah. I wish I was more of a fighting game because this game genuinely looks really cool.
Yeah, I didn't think that they could top themselves in their initial reveal trailer that was CG, but my god, the gameplay was probably even worse. Like that was insane. The fatalities that they just continue to come up with are just unreal. I'm excited to play this when it comes out.
I'm kind of interested in this story a little bit too. Like I don't. There's some small changes. I think they made a Scorpion and Sub-Zero brothers in this one. Like that.
Yeah.
That brotherly feud just sounds interesting to me. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll watch like a super cut of the cutscenes on YouTube or something. I don't know. Path of Exile 2 gets a teeny new gameplay trailer. I actually don't remember this one.
I do.
Oh, that's like the Diablo clone?
Yes. And ironically enough, the first game came out about the same time as Diablo 3, so they were competing with Mindshare at that time, and now the sequel's going to be coming out shortly after Diablo 4 came out. It's unfortunate for them because I don't think that they'll get as much Mindshare because of Diablo 4, but like Path of Exile game, the first one was very well regarded by fans. It was kind of a cult classic. So yeah, I'm sure this will hit for the fans of those games, but there's no way in hell I'm going to have Diablo 4 done by then. So
Yeah.
I'm probably not going to play this, but yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong too, but I think Diablo 3 was kind of a miss with the community with Diablo community. So it might have, Path of
Yes.
Exile might have just been ripe just to jump on that. We'll see how it goes. Next month it releases July 28th, Path of Exile 2, so see how it fares.
Yeah.
We then got an announcement that Street Fighter 6 and Exo Primal are teaming up for a hot collaboration. I don't know in what game or if it's for both games or what's going on, but like a Metal Ryu was shown off. All right, cool.
Very cool. I think it's for Exoprimal, but I also am not for sure. The gameplay looks like it was from Exoprimal, but who knows, honestly.
Yeah. It looks like it might be Exoprimal. You're
But
probably
then
right.
but then they have the shot of like them standing side by side in 2D. So like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe
I
it's
really
both.
don't know. Maybe it's both. Yeah. Okay. We then got another trailer for Witchfire. Early access is coming September 20th. I think Gage is kind of interested in this game, but he's not here.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I don't have much either.
VR gaming had a trailer. Here we go. VR shooter Crossfire Sierra Squad. That's coming this August to Steam VR and PSVR too. Still not enough to entice me to buy a PSVR 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck, VR. Good luck.
Good luck. And good luck to Remnant 2. That got a new gameplay trailer. I don't remember this game. I'm so sorry.
I was interested in the first one and I never played it. I don't think I'm going to play the sequel, but it looks like a cool shoot. It's like one of those Souls-like games as well, I think, but with guns. Like many others.
You lost me.
Yeah. But I think there's a pretty good following, so I guess that's why the sequel's coming. But yeah,
Sure.
not for me.
Look at it.
If I hear Souls like anytime, I just cry
You will.
and hide and hide.
Again, it's because like they don't understand. Nobody understands From Software. Not the way I do. I don't get it. Here's a hot one. You know what? I'm looking forward to this game. Will I play it on release? I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it regardless. Sonic is back in 2D with Sonic Superstars. Of course, Sonic is in this game. Tails, Knuckles, Amy, possibly a fifth character. Fans are speculating. Rose excited for this one.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait for this. Yes, Amy is back as well, or playable, I should say. I think the fifth character is actually an enemy character, unfortunately. There might be a playable fifth character, I'm not sure, but there was the tease, like, there's a new character designed by a famous Sonic artist. Apparently it was like a enemy that has been revealed. I'm blanking on the name now, but he works with Fang and Eggman, who are the two bad guys in this game. But here's hoping that there is a secret fifth character. That would be awesome. But yeah, this looks awesome. I cannot wait.
How are you feeling? Like, the thing that I thought was the coolest about this is that like there's a little play on like depth of field, like Sonic runs, up a pipeline, half pipe kind of thing. He's like sideways, and then he is underneath a waterfall, and it kind of jumps up and through it, and like he's above. I don't know. It seems like they're having fun with the gameplay mechanics, and like that kind of movement in this kind of regard seems pretty fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that looks fun. Like the jumping between on a 2D scape, like to the back on a foreground, I guess is the best way to put it.
Sure.
But yeah, it looks good.
The visual aspect I thought was really cool. How they introduced it with the old art style and then had like the split down the middle, and you could see the old and the new next to each other. It's really cool.
Yeah.
For us anime freaks. Honkai Star Rail, the game that's on PC, game that Cameron Hawkins loves so much, getting a console release, coming to PlayStation at some point.
Love to see it.
I probably still won't play. But shout out to you Honkai fans.
Pretty satisfying gameplay. I don't know if I'm ever going to get back to it myself, but I was surprised by how much I enjoyed the gameplay.
I got so pissed off. I needed to Google something related to Kafka, and I'm referring to Franz Kafka, the novelist, right? And I think, anyway, and I look up Kafka, and all the autofills on Google are fucking Honkai Star Rail shit. Like, no. Look at us in our modern society where our priorities lie. Not with literature, but with anime girls. Get out of town. I get it though, but like, get out of town. Liza P. got a new trailer. We already talked about it, but that is coming to Game Pass. Coming out September 19th. Lie or die. Lie or die. Fans of Dragon Ball, creator Akira Toriyama is working on a new anime RPG called Sandland. Will I play it? I don't know. But I appreciate the art style.
Yep. I don't know if I'm going to play it either. I think this was a manga at first, and people, it's like one of those cult classics that people don't talk about as much because he's so famous for Dragon Ball. But yeah, I think this is really cool for those Sandland fans.
They're out there.
They're out. They gotta be.
there.
They're making an entire game about it.
That's
I hope
true.
they're out there.
Oh, here we go. Dan loves games by this publisher.
No.
Amazon are publishing yet another MMO called Throne and Liberty.
I was asleep.
Liberty Bibbity.
Oh no.
Liberty.
Yeah.
Liberty. Sorry.
No, we can't do it.
We got a sponsorship now.
That's how these companies get us. I remember Dan saying during the live stream saying, "Oh, it's an Amazon game. I'm tuning out."
Yeah.
Amazon game, I sleep.
Respectfully, I agree. Warhaven is a game that's coming to Steam Next Fest for free. The game kicks off on June 19th. I think Gage is kind of into this. More medieval, large-scale battles. Like Chivalry,
Oh, God.
which Dan apparently hates.
Yes, very much.
We're going to spend a little bit of time on this next game. Alan Wake 2 from developer Remedy. Got a new trailer for that. It looked fantastic. And of course, journalists spent some time behind closed doors. And they are really liking what they're seeing from Alan Wake 2. Of course, the first one was heavily inspired by things like Twin Peaks. And now they're saying that Alan Wake 2 is kind of inspired by
True
HBO
Detective.
show True Detective. Thank you. And you can, at any point, go into your mind palace, which is like this menu thing where you can like go to, what's her name? What's the new protagonist's name? The FBI agent, Saga.
Yeah.
You go into
Saga?
Saga's mind palace. Yes,
That's such
Saga.
a dope name.
And you have like boards of information where you're like collecting clues and piecing together what's actually going on. And of course, the gameplay is very survival horror-esque. And at some point, you can freely switch between Saga's story and Alan Wake's. Any point. And people like this. People like Greg Miller liked it so much it now became their most anticipated game of the year. And I gotta say, from what people are saying about it, I like Remedy a lot. This jumped up as well for me, so much so that like with this and Spider-Man 2 coming out in the same week, I think I might just go ahead and buy Alan Wake 2 anyway and try to get through it before Spider-Man. And if not, I'll put off Spider-Man for a few days and see this game through because that sounds awesome.
Man, and that's coming from the man who said shortly before we saw this that he was like, nope, there's no way I'm playing this. How times have changed.
I didn't say that. Did I? That sounds like something I'd say.
No, you're right though. I'm very excited about this, and Remedy's never made a bad game. Like all of their games are always good. Like at their baseline, it's gonna be a good game. And like I'm very fascinated to see how the storyline, like if they're able to pull it off to where you can literally jump between Saga and Alan's story and like have it make sense and not be like jumbled. Like I'm very fascinated to see how that works. And obviously I'm sure they'll have like separate stories, but like obviously it's going to be intertwined somehow. So yeah,
Right.
I'm interested to see how they kind of do that with giving the player the freedom to switch between them whenever they want. It's very, very fascinating.
Such a perfect time to release it too. It's mid-October or towards the end, 20-something or 17th, something like that.
Yeah,
I can't quite
17th,
remember. I think it's 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Spider-Man 2 is October 20th. Yeah, so October 17th, perfect time to be playing a game that's like leaning into survival horror, which, I mean, in that snippet of gameplay we saw from this trailer, looks really cool. And it's still very much Alan Wake, where you're using the flashlight, using the environment to like light up and stun enemies, and then shoot them afterwards. But leaning more into survival horror rather than like, I guess, action. Having the camera up closer for it to be a bit more grounded. Feels like it's going to work a lot better for me in terms of getting me in and staying in. So yeah, I'm really excited for this now.
I wish I could also join you guys. For where you go, I cannot follow. I wish I could though. I mean, I can, I guess, if I just do it. But I don't know. I really like creepy stuff. I like creepy comics, art. I just hate the feeling of being scared. And like when I'm watching a movie and playing a game, that moment could come at any time, as opposed to watching something like a book or looking at art. But yeah, I love the aesthetic, but I don't know if I'll be able to play it.
You know what? We're gonna turn on Dead Space remake when you're here for episode 200 and make you play it. So
Oh God.
we're gonna
God.
we're gonna get you trained to be ready for that week.
God. If I could play Dead Space, I guess I could play anything.
That's true. Yeah.
Moving on. Got to look at Warhammer 40K Space Marines 2. New trailer for that. 3-player co-op. So one of us is sitting out if we ever play this. I mean, knowing us though, we always say, "Oh, we should play this," and then we never do. But that's coming this winter. So if we change our minds, there we go.
I think this looks dope.
It sounds like a fantasy critic game that Dan would pick up randomly.
It does sound like
And you'd probably get a lot of points for it too, which sucks.
It's available right now. If anybody wants to grab it.
We then got a new trailer for a unique looking game called Yes Your Grace. Yes Your Grace Snowfall. I was very confused when that I couldn't tell if it was a subtitle or not. Coming to Steam 2024. I think this is the one where like you role play as like the king of a kingdom. And people come to you with tasks and such, or little like advice. You're like choosing. I have a choose your own adventure kind of deal. I think, if I remember correctly.
You're right. You could like choose to spare people's lives. It looks like sometimes you may have to behead some wrongdoers, I guess. But yeah, it's like a king simulator.
Which sounds kind of fun. I could maybe be into this. We'll see. One to keep in my purview. Here we go. The developers that made World War Z teamed up with filmmaker John Carpenter to make John Carpenter's Toxic Commando in a new horror team shooter. This sounds like a fantastic time to get together with the boys, drink some beer, or not, water, whatever you have, and just shoot a bunch of weird looking things.
Oh yeah.
I could be into this.
Yeah, I'm down. Let's jump in. I think this is a Game Pass game, right?
I believe you're right.
Maybe. I might have made that up. I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
Someone's
But it could be. At this point, let's be real. It could be. Baldur's Gate freaks. Wish I were one of them. I'm not. But Baldur's Gate 3 gets a second villain named Gortash, voiced by Jason Isaacs. Of course, Baldur's Gate leaving early access, coming full release later this year, I think next month. August 31st. So 2 months away. Big ass news dropped here. Spider-Man 2, not coming to PC yet, but it is coming to PS5 this year, October 20th, 2023. They did it. They came out with a release date after days ago saying, we're not going to put out release date until the team is confident in it. They lied to us. They already knew it. They just were holding it for Geoff's show.
God.
Very cool.
Can't wait. And the art that they showed off.
And
doggy.
The collector's edition.
Right.
And the suits that are at bonuses. God.
Can't wait. Cannot wait.
Real good.
Another trailer for Pal World that comes to early access 2024. That's the game like Pokemon, but with guns. And you make them do just insane labor as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man. I can't wait for this game to come out. Not because I'm going to play it, just because I want it to be out.
Sure.
Stop making weird trailers for it.
I'm with you. Black Desert Online has a new expansion out soon called Land of the Morning Light. I don't think any of us are Black Desert Online people. Okay.
Oh.
Got another Lord of the Rings game for you then. Lord of the Rings Return to Moria. Are we sure these two things happened at Summer Game Fest? I don't remember either of these.
I
it
remember the Black Desert one, so I assume the Lord of the Rings happened as
Yeah.
well. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'll believe you
that
if you say so.
Yeah, because when they showed it, I was screaming for EA to bring back Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle Earth series.
That's right.
And, it's not happening.
Maybe this is when I was making eggs. I was making eggs during this show, if I recall.
Yep.
Got a new look at Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. And based off that title, I'm like, what the fuck was this game? And I looked at a picture and it's like, oh, it's the Donut game. I'm still not quite sure what's going on in it, but got a new trailer for it.
yeah, I'm down to try it out. Don't nod. Love you guys. Making choices, doing some story stuff. Got some action synced in there too. So yeah, I'm down to check it out. I'm also very confused as to what's happening. In the trailer, but I'm down to learn more.
My friend is trying to get an address for me for a reference for a work thing. Trying to juggle that as well. Oh, here we go. Fuck my friend. Forget my friend. Forget his job reference right now. Here we go.
Oh, God.
Got a new trailer from RGG Studio, Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. It's coming. It's coming to too many games this year. I just said to my friend, I can relax. There's no games coming out in November or December. I can catch up on the big AAA releases of the fall. Well, this game is coming out November 9th. God, man. God.
Is this game
I saw
going to be
it,
good?
baby. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, thanks
Unfortunately for me.
Thanks for that.
Oh no, I mean it's going to be terrible. Don't pick this up.
You picking it up or something?
Oh, no, of course not. No.
God damn it.
I wouldn't do that.
If it's the last thing I do, I'm going to play the Yakuza games someday.
They're fun, man. I've never beaten a single one, but they're fun. They're fantastic from every time. Like I've dabbled in them. You do karaoke. You can beat people up with chairs and do little silly moves. Anyway,
How many Like a Dragon games are going to come out this year?
just the one.
There's
Just
two,
the one.
right? Ishin came out in February, right?
Was Ishin this year? But that was like a remaster, essentially.
That's fair.
Damn. I don't need to think about this right now. Under the Waves. A new game. New trailer. It's the Quantic Dream game. Yes.
They're the ones
And I'm
publishing,
still-
I think.
Yeah, and I'm still super yeah, you're right. They're publishing, not developing. Still very curious about this.
Looks kind of cool. Little spooky vibes.
There's another water kind of themed game. I think that was at the Xbox showcase that I want to talk
Yes.
about. I think that one piqued my interest a bit more. So we'll wait there.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Season 4 arriving June 14th. They use a trailer with a skin that's no longer the game. Moving on.
Rip.
Fae Farm. Fae Farm is a brand new cozy farming game.
Cool.
Love it.
Good for them.
Marvel Snap getting a new conquest mode. I have never touched, downloaded, played, seen Marvel Snap in action.
It's great.
People like it though.
It's great.
People like
yeah.
This guy really liked it, Ben Brode. He knew the assignment. Very enthusiastic about it.
I actually kind of enjoyed his enthusiasm. It was kind of refreshing
Absolutely.
at that point in the show.
Can't be mad at that.
Agreed.
King Arthur, Legends Arise, a new Fantasy Squad RPG. Got a gameplay trailer. Game is in Unreal Engine 5. No release date. You can pre-register though. For more information. I'm okay.
Yeah, his beard is too cleanly cut to be like a knight. I feel like it's like where'd he go for that? Is he from that time? I don't think so. With that fresh fade, that's all I was thinking while watching this trailer.
Wayfinder heading to early access this summer. A lot of games, man. Summer Game Fest was a lot of stuff showing off here.
Yeah.
Not everything was for me. A lot of it was not for me, including Stellaris Nexus, a new hour-long 4X spinoff. What did I just say?
No.
What did I just say? Paradox also announced a survival base builder called Space Trash Scavenger.
Okay.
Were we asleep again at this point in the show?
No, I remember this. There was 3. I thought it was commercial timed.
Right. This might be the commercial section, actually.
Yeah. Enjoy Grand Strategy in Star Trek Infinite. A strategy game by Nimble Giant Entertainment.
I'll try.
Sure.
Lisfanga, the Time Shift Warrior, is a new time-looping hack and slash. Oh, I kind of remember this, though. I kind of remember this.
This one looks kind of neat. This one
Could be
woke me
neat.
up a little
Could be
bit.
neat. Yes. Immortals of Avium shows off a mad mech battle and a new gameplay trailer. I gotta work on the game names for games, dude.
Immortals of Avium not doing it for you?
It's
Oh,
No.
none of it registers.
Do you remember what genre this is?
It's a MPS.
Yeah.
Right?
Mage person
Oh!
shooter.
Oh, that was this game?
Yeah.
And that's coming out like next month, July 20th.
Mhm.
Oh,
I
boy.
didn't like what they showed off personally. I felt like they were like cutting a lot in weird places.
Yeah.
Like let the game sit. But apparently the people who have played it at the Games Fest thing said it surprised them. So that's good, I guess. Well, I guess we'll see when reviews come out next year. But I was not expecting people to be high on it when they played it. But apparently it's fun time.
I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm just hating. Two more on SGF here. Fortnite got a trailer for Chapter 4. It was out later that day. Optimus is in it. Opto Primate.
Primal?
Yeah,
I think
whatever. But yeah, Gorilla Optimus Prime is also in it.
Optimus
Autobots.
Primal, I think.
Oh, I forgot to tell you guys in what you got for me. I played 3 matches of this.
Ooh.
How's
it? Was it good?
Oh my god, dude! They brought back this shotgun that is disgusting, and I didn't have it. None of us had picked it up. We weren't able to get it, but the enemy had it, and we got just destroyed in seconds. So we played 3 matches of this, of like them getting guns before we did, and we were like, you know what? Maybe you don't want to play Fortnite right now, and we bounced. This one was just for real. They ended the show with what I thought honestly was going to be something Elden Ring, or not Elden Ring, from Software, probably Elden Ring DLC. Earlier in the show, mind you, Geoff is like, speaking of Final Fantasy, oh, nope, not like this.
Wait.
If you go to DoorDash, you can use this code for
That was great.
cheap Taco Bell. Anyway, Final Fantasy Rebirth, new trailer, coming early 2024 on 2 discs.
2 discs.
2 discs.
Damn. I'm so excited. I'm not like I loved Rebirth. I won't come out here and say I'm the biggest Final Fantasy VII fan because I haven't played the original. I want to, but I haven't played it yet. But everything that they showed off here got me excited. I love the open world stuff. I love Tifa. I love the combat. I love Tifa. It looks great. It looks great.
I respect your commitment to the bit, dude. Yeah. I guess this is a good point to just throw in something that would drop today, but was happening at Summer Game Fest. Journalists. I'm sorry. We'll just stick with Final Fantasy VII real quick. I don't want to jump ahead. Cool trailer. I am still more excited for FF16 than I think I am 7
Sure.
Rebirth. That's just where I fall. But like, I still am looking forward to most likely checking out FF7 Rebirth. Finally, the open world section from the original game, where the game really, really opens up. So, should be cool.
Rewatching
And
this
Tifa
trailer.
does-
I'm so
yeah.
excited. Tifa does what?
She looks good.
Oh yeah. She does. She got
Journalists.
the cowboy outfit. Let's go.
She did. She got picked up by Sephiroth real easy too.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Just thrown.
What did journalists do?
Kirik says I played Final Fantasy VII back when it came out in the 90s and didn't like it,
Ooh.
but I am so much into the remake. And he says Heart
Oh,
Tifa.
very cool.
Heart Tifa, man.
All right. Not enough Jess respecters here. Everyone's always, ooh, Aerith or Tifa, and maybe it's Tifa.
True. No,
Jess
Jess
needs love too, and I
she's
can provide
underrated.
that.
There we go. Yeah.
Journalists at Summer Games Fest saw a behind the closed doors extended look at Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, and I ate very well today. I went through a thread of Iron Pineapple, which is a From Software YouTuber who broke down some of the stuff that he saw. I went on to GameSpot to hear Tamur's thoughts on it. And then I, of course, went my last stop was VatiVidya, which is like the holy grail of From Software anything, for a 30-minute deep dive into what he saw. And then he also created assets, by the way. He remembered what the UI of the demo looked like, because the trailers that were shown, we have like 4 minutes of footage that is available to the public, has no UI, but the journalists saw it, and so Vati remade the UI and kind of showed it off for what the final product would look like, and kind of assumed what the person playing was doing, and it was just awesome just to have that level of breakdown. I'll distill it down to this: what everyone is saying is that Armored Core 6 is both. It is entirely a From Software design philosophy game, meaning at its core is challenge. However, it's not entirely Armored Core. They've learned what they've done with the Souls games and applied some of that to the Armored Core slate of games to make something that feels, both familiar to the Armored Core fans, but also familiar to the Souls fans. That's going to just open the doors for a bigger, wider audience, and it looks fantastic, dude. Like big mechs with highly designed levels with multiple avenues of where you could go. Like, again, I ate very well for 4 minutes of video. It just looks stunning. Their level design is great, and what's the word? Like their art. What can I think of the word for art?
Art direction.
Art direction is unparalleled. So yeah, I'm very excited for Armored Core that drops in August.
Oh yeah. I love the verticality of it. Like, I didn't expect it to be that open, even though Elden Ring is like huge. But I don't know why I wasn't expecting that for this type of game.
Yeah, I mean, normally in other Armored Core games, it's just missions. This is the same, but yeah, they're I'm assuming because they kind of changed the way flight mechanics work in this. Depending on your mech, you can do a lot more like either horizontal flying or vertical flying. So it just allows for more like you can do different paths in a level, not the same one over and over again. It's pretty neat.
Every time we've seen this game, I think it looks really cool, and then Christian tells me, "No, Dan, you're not gonna like." And I'm like, "All right."
I mean, I'm just letting you know based on your thoughts on Jedi Fallen Order. Where you thought it was difficult. Like From Software games, like that is the draw, is the difficulty. So I'm assuming it's still very much present.
Fair enough.
Like, I don't know. I just saw like a video like of this mech in a hallway, and he scans and then like boosts through, like dodging missiles, and does like a little dodge to go behind it, and then busts out a little like laser sword, and it's like, yeah, I really want to play fast paced mech action game. That sounds really cool. Okay. Xbox had what I would call, and I'm sure you would all agree, probably the best showcase of of these summer showcases, period.
Agreed.
I personally would want a bit more gameplay out of some of these big announcements, but what we got, I think, is still justified to make it a very solid showcase all around. Even at its length of an hour and 15, it's kind of breezed by, in my opinion. So let's go through it. I'm probably going to defer to Daniel for a lot of these since he has more history and know-how in some of these big games. But it started with, yes, Playground's Fable, a new look at it featuring the actor from, what's his name? Richard Ayoade. I know him from the IT crowd. Hilarious dude. I didn't know Fable was a game that's like rooted in like humor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's rooted in British humor. So yeah, it's great. I'm speechless right now because we saw this trailer and I was like, this is insane. And like even watching it, I was thinking like this has to be CG, but at the bottom it says in-game footage. And even after the show, people were saying, "Oh, this is CG. It's terrible. Like I can't believe they would do this." And one of the main artists on Fable for Playground Games tweeted out, he's like, "No, that's literally running in game on an Xbox Series X," which I'm like, freaking A, that looks so good.
Do you call that gameplay though? When it's
I wouldn't call it
in-game
gameplay.
scenes like
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
There are some like very quick snippets of what it looks like actual gameplay though running.
Yeah.
But all this to say is I agree like that. I don't understand. Some people were saying like it didn't look that great. I don't know what they're smoking. I think this looks fantastic.
And the fact
fidelity wise.
Yeah. The fact that Playground has never made character models, and I thought their character models looked really detailed and really good in like their lip motion and facial reactions and stuff. I thought it was really well done, considering that they're historically a car developer. They made car games in Forza Horizon. So yeah, very impressed.
Yeah,
Ro?
I was surprised by this too. I was one of the people, I think when I was watching you guys react to it, I even down below like, I saw Xbox wasn't going to do all CGI trailers. Like that's what they said. And after watching this, and like Dan said, no, a lot of this was in engine, and there was some gameplay sprinkled down. It's like, all right, fuck me then. They proved me wrong right at the beginning. So I took off my hater pants from there and just enjoyed the show. But yeah, I was definitely surprised by the Fable showing. I'm not, as you know, I'm not a huge Xbox guy, but I agree that this was definitely my favorite show by far that happened this week, and I was impressed by what followed as well.
I'll out myself too as a little bit of a hater. When I was thinking about the showcase, when I was thinking about Fable later, scrolling Twitter, I was like, this didn't really do it for me. Like I saw people were like really excited about it, and like, had I not known Fable was in the works, I think this would have really worked as an announcement video. And then I kind of like pulled myself back, and I was like, well, hold on here. Like, no, I thought about Death Stranding too, and like even though we didn't know it was a thing, like the way they showed it off was like essentially just like cutscenes, or I don't know if any of it was in game or in engine. It might not have been. It could have just been like pre-rendered cutscenes, right? With the Death Stranding 2 announcement, I guess. And that got me excited. And I thought like, there's a whole lot of people who are really excited for the comeback of like a franchise that hasn't had a game in so long, and for it to come out and like look the way it does. Who am I to hate? Like this is probably really exciting for some people. And I completely turned around. I was like, fuck it. Like, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
We then got a trailer at a new game called South of Midnight. Coolest thing about this game was the animation, stop motion, which you do not see in games at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I liked about it the most too. This was all CGI though, right? Theirs isn't in-game.
Probably. Yeah,
but still,
I think so.
The animation was dope. That's the style of it was awesome. I don't know do we know what type of game this is?
Well, it can't. If they didn't lie to us, it's not all CGI. It should be, because this is a first-party studio, so this should be at least in engine, because they said either in engine or in game.
Taking off my hater pants again.
As long as they didn't lie to us.
Okay, fair enough. So I'm reading here that it's apparently a third-person action adventure game, which sounds pretty cool. And if they can emulate that style in gameplay, that sounds awesome. Definitely down to see that.
And that's the key.
Absolutely.
That's the key, Ro. Like, what's the gameplay going to be? Because obviously this is coming from Compulsion Games, and their previous game, We Happy Few, had some really cool narrative ideas for it.
And
but
visuals too.
yes, absolutely. But the gameplay, for me personally, didn't hit. It was a procedurally generated game, and it didn't hit very hard for me. And the story ended up basically sinking after the first hour of the game, which was the coolest parts that we saw in trailers. So hopefully they have something really cool that they're going to cook up here for this game. So
Gage was talking about the game that Compulsion Games made for the PS4 launch, and that was Contrast. And I remember not beating that game either. But yeah, still, when you have an art style this distinct, it's kind of hard to look away and be like, you know what? Regardless, it's still kind of in my purview. We got a trailer for Ubisoft's Star Wars Outlaws, and you know what? At this point, like since we're already here, we'll just throw it. This was shown off also at Ubisoft Forward, where we got an extended look at what the gameplay is. It's an open world game starring a female protagonist. I don't have her name off the Kves. And you know, a lot of people are really high on it. It's a lot of, you know, very cool to have seamless transition from planet to space. You can do, you know, bounty hunter quests. Something about this didn't look like it was going to jive with me. I couldn't quite tell what it was, but like the gameplay to me just didn't draw me in. Very happy and excited for those that are going to look forward to this, but I think as of now, like I don't think an open world Star Wars game from Ubisoft is quite going to do it for me.
It's fair. I feel like this one was more my speed, honestly. As I don't know. I liked what I saw from the Ubisoft Forward gameplay stuff. I wasn't sold on it from obviously the Xbox trailer. I was like, okay, more Star Wars stuff. And you know me, I'm kind of Star Wars out, as I keep saying every time there's a new one. But I liked what I saw from the gameplay stuff with the speeder and the shooting mechanics and stuff like that, and the little guy telling him where to go. And I guess that's like just BB, whatever the guy's name in Fallen Order is, just kind of like a little companion guy as well. I don't know. I just kind of vibed with this one a bit more than Jedi Fallen Order. I suppose. Obviously, the game is interesting. But I liked what I saw.
Yeah. We'll see if I can even finish the current Star Wars game that's out right now before this one comes out. But yeah, I thought it looked good. I'm interested enough.
Look. Oh, go ahead.
Kirik says, this game looks sick. I liked it a lot, and I'm not a fan of Star Wars. He said, I'm sold. 100% agree with Roshan.
And I think it might be because she's potentially not a Jedi, and I feel like that's more fun for me. I don't like the lightsaber stuff, doesn't always do it for me, and the blasters and the Outlaws and the Han Solo stuff is a bit more my speed. So I think that might be why, it being Star Wars Outlaws and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. We'll see. That might be why, now that I'm thinking about it.
Moving on, we had a look at 33 Immortals. It's a new co-op roguelike game with, 33 player co-op. I actually don't know if it's populated with other people, because I don't have 33 friends ready to go, personally.
Right.
If it's populated with other players, that could be really neat.
Yeah. When I looked at when I saw the 33 online players, I like thought of there's a game called Sky. I guess Journey is a good comparison as well, where just like people just drop in potentially. If it's not like that, I hope that they do have online functionality, because it'll be hard to get a group of 33 people in together. I hope they thought of that. I'm sure they did. But I think this looks really cool though. I am down for this.
Payday 3. It's coming to Game Pass. Coming out on PC as well. September 21st. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Something about this felt a bit dated in the way it was. Maybe it's just the presentation of it. I don't know. But the fact that it's a Game Pass game alone is enough to be like, you know what? If there's good word of mouth, because it's on Game Pass, I might check this out with my friends over at PXN.
Yeah. It definitely, it still gives me vibes of it being, a little janky like the other games in the series were, but yeah, like you're saying, in Game Pass, I might check it out with the lads.
Unfortunately, this leaked a couple days beforehand, or then maybe even the day before or 2 days before. Atlas, the rumors are true. They are remaking Persona 3 into Persona 3 Reload. However, since then we've got more information that it is not Persona 3 Portable. It is the original Persona 3, so it does not have all the content. And it's also missing the other protagonist, depending on who you choose to play as. In P3P, you can have the female protagonist or the male protagonist. And this only has the male protagonist.
Yeah,
and
that's a bummer.
missing the end content. Yeah, so if you want the full version, then you just won't in Persona 3 Reload.
Yeah, that is a bummer. I'm still excited as I haven't played either version of Persona 3, so I'm just excited to try it. But yeah, Atlas makes some weird decisions sometimes. This is definitely one of them. It's like, if you're making a remake, why not just go all the way and do it? We'll wait the extra time because we have this long already. Just may as well do the full product, but they didn't want to do that for whatever reason. But it being on Game Pass is, I think, huge, and
Yes.
I definitely will be day one to try that out.
I mean, we'll talk about Atlas here in another second, but just we'll get there when we get there. Instead, we look to Avowed, which is finally coming next year, 2024. A lot of debate on Twitter about the aesthetics of Obsidian games. Some people are, look at that. What shirt is that? What does that say?
Obsidian.
Obsidian.
Oh, Obsidian.
It's actually.
Some folks on Twitter were saying, what is it actually? Tell me. I'm already curious.
It's actually a Pride shirt for Obsidian, and I thought it looked super cool. So
Does look
There we
cool.
go. And it's Pride Month.
it is.
Fantastic. People on Twitter were saying the aesthetics of this game look a little dated. Some people were saying, like, you're smoking something weird because it looks great. Some people were saying it looks okay, but like, when the art direction is this good, who cares? And there's truth to all of them, maybe. I don't know. But I the art direction is usually what I prefer anyway. And regardless, I think it looks pretty great. Probably not going to be a game for me. I've never played an Obsidian RPG before, but Daniel speaks highly of it. Who knows? I don't know.
Hazel, I can't believe that. I can't believe you're missing a lot, Christian. They're great games. Yeah, I'm very excited for Avowed. And I know a lot of people had criticisms about the art style changing, I guess, from the original CG trailer. Which the original CG trailer was a little darker and grittier and more Skyrim-esque, which the Obsidian came out and explained and said, yeah, originally that was kind of our vision, was to be like Skyrim, but then it pretty much evolved into, we want this to be its own thing. We don't want it to be mimicking Skyrim, essentially. So yeah, they did change the art style to be like a little bit more, I guess, colorful, cartoony ish, but not like fully in that realm. I still think it looked really good, though. I'm very excited for it, gameplay wise. And they also said it compares in scope and size to the Outer Worlds and like KOTOR, for instance, or KOTOR 2, which they developed, where you basically go to large open areas. There's multiple large open areas that you travel to, so it's not going to be one big map like Skyrim, which is perfectly fine with me because I love that in Outer Worlds. I'm very excited. Yeah, give me some Avowed.
I didn't realize they made New Vegas.
Yes,
I've never played New Vegas, but people love New Vegas.
and South Park: The Stick of Truth, the first South Park game, was really good.
I played like 5 to 10 hours of one of them. I don't remember which South Park game it was.
The second one was made by Ubisoft, Fractured Butthole.
Goodness.
Sea of Thieves getting a new expansion. It's coming July 20th. The Legend of Monkey Island. And all the Monkey Island fans went nuts. I was not one of them.
They went bananas, Christian.
Oh,
Bananas.
nah. I was right there, dude. It was right there. Nice one. Nice
I'm
one.
trying so hard not to use the badimch Discord sound right now.
Oh, you should have. You should have just done it. And a surprise to all of us, Flight Sim not getting a new expansion, getting a new game next year, 2024. with a lot of updates: helicopters, search and rescue, cargo transport, air ambulances, agricultural aviation, skydive aviation, aerial construction jobs, so much more. Looks insane. Also, current flight simulator is getting a Dune tie-in. You can fly an ornithopter on the current Microsoft Flight Simulator. I think I told Dan. So I think I told all you guys on the show. If I get a new job this year, when this game comes out, I'm buying a Series X just to play Flight Sim. I don't give a damn. Or I could just buy an SSD for my computer. I don't know.
True.
Either way, this game is gorgeous, dude. Every time I see it, it's so cool.
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
Yeah, and at first we're like, is this a new game or is this just an expansion? But it looks like it's a new game for the 2024 version. I think the Dune stuff is coming to the original game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Got a new trailer for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2. Dan had picked it up for this year. Well, it's coming out 2024.
Damn it.
As always, the play with audio in 3D space was fantastic. I wish we could have seen a bit more. I think to wait this long, I really would have loved to see just a bit more gameplay of Senua Saga. But it makes the wait that much more painful because we know it's probably going to be a good game anyway.
See, I found that fascinating that people were saying, like, I wish I had seen more gameplay of it and that kind of stuff because we've already...
Hard to show it off.
Right. And we
saw one, yeah.
Yeah. We saw a decent chunk and it's like, I don't know if I want to see a bunch of gameplay because, like, this is the type of game that I want to experience, like, in a perfect situation. Like, I feel like I know what this game's already going to be. And I know that's probably... not the best answer for people who they're trying to cater this to, like, and get new fans into this, but like personally I just want to play it. I just want to experience it.
My thing is, like, when I think of the last Tears of the Kingdom trailer, like that has like very small gameplay snippets of, like, 2 or 3 seconds of Link doing something in like various places. I think that could have been cool to see Senua be doing something like that. A minute-long trailer. Don't need like a gameplay slice. Just little snippets in like various environments just doing stuff. Like that could have like built the anticipation a bit more for me. But regardless, again, like this game, dude, like Ninja Theory, their capture is crazy. Like Senua looks insanely good.
Another gorgeous game for sure.
Yakuza 6. Sorry, 8. Like a Dragon 8. It's coming. And it's called Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. We've got the official title for it. I think it's coming next year, I believe. I didn't know if it was a different game than Like a Dragon 8 or not, but thank God we found online that it is Like a Dragon 8 because I don't think it could handle another spin-off.
Oh,
when I want to get into the series. Yeah, yeah.
Because this article says nope, it's not Like a Dragon 8.
It's not?
That's what this article says here, or like under the video.
I'm reading this now. Okay, well then I click on that, and then I'm seeing the top article say Yakuza 8 is headed to the USA.
That's weird.
So is it or is it not?
I don't know. That's a good question. Huh.
Like a Dragon 8 gets a new title and teaser is what I'm seeing on Game Rant.
Oh boy.
Oh, that's...
What is RGG saying?
RGG. What are you doing, man?
Well, they have a showcase tomorrow, so presumably for confused now we'll know then.
I'm so confused.
All this to say, first time in the West. People are thinking it's Hawaii. Crazy. Fallout 76 now Game Pass. Moving on.
Next.
Kunitsu Gami, Path of the Goddess, a new game coming from Capcom, looked gorgeous, stunning even, rooted in Japanese mythology. Looks pretty cool. Curious to know more when we see more. It's coming to Game Pass though.
apparently it's a mix of strategy and action. So there's like,
Mm.
it's not
Mm.
fully action game. It's not fully strategy game either. But I'm interested to see what the gameplay looks like too.
It was so interesting that Capcom showed the exact same trailer at their conference.
Look,
God,
we're not
that
going to
was-
talk about Capcom. Capcom
Yeah.
showcase was just not very good, dude.
No.
Forza Motorsport got a new trailer coming out October 10th. Forza fans going crazy.
Looks good.
Gorgeous game, man. Gorgeous game.
Yep.
Elder Scrolls Online get a new expansion. The Necrom expansion. When is that coming out? No word. No word according to this article. Overwatch 2 Invasion. That was the reveal trailer.
June 20th.
Of course, we already talked. June for Necrom.
Yeah, June 20th. So next week.
Thank you.
Yep.
Overwatch 2, October 10th. We're not going to talk about Overwatch. We're going to talk about Persona 5 Tactica, a new strategy game from Atlas. Another Persona 5 spinoff coming out November 17th. I think also on Game Pass?
Mhm.
Could be. Yep, also on Game Pass.
Yapperoonie. I am down. I've liked the spin-offs they've done so far. Strikers was pretty good. I'm blanking if they did anything else. But
they
Strikers
did
was
one
good.
more.
Strikers. I mean, I know they do the dancing games out. They're fun too. The rhythm games.
There was one more spinoff because this is the third Persona 5 spinoff, but yeah, I'm blanking right
They
now.
did
as well.
Royal, but that was just the game, but nicer.
That's not a spinoff.
Yeah.
That's not a spinoff.
I can't think of anything else.
This is the Don't Nod game I was excited for. It's called Jusant, and it's a climbing game. That's it. That's all I need. That is all I want and need. I love anything like rock climbing, especially like VR. Dan knows this. Rock climbing VR is so fun. When you have a game this pretty, when you're dedicating the game to just be physics based and rope based and climbing, almost puzzle-esque. That is very cool, and I'm immediately drawn in. It looks meditative and fun and something to just kind of zone out to. This is on my radar. Oh, this fall as well.
On Game Pass.
Right on. Say less. Here we go. The Chinese Room are back with the oil rig horror still wakes the deep. This is such a small trailer, less than a minute, and immediately Gage was like, this looks rad. And then by the time it was over, I think Dan and I were also agreeing that it looks very cool, very creepy, could be great. It's coming early 2024.
Yeah. An oil rig in of itself is creepy.
Yeah, dude. I've seen TikToks of oil rig workers or even just like ship workers in the ocean in the middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good off that, Chief.
Good.
New game, cel-shaded adventure game, Dungeons of Hinterberg was revealed and it's coming in 2024. I don't think I remember this one.
I think it looks cool. It's just as you say, it's like an adventure game with a cool art style, possibly a cool story. Not much else to really glean from it. There wasn't any like VO or anything, but it just looks like a girl on a cool adventure across the world. But it looks cool.
Incredible. Keanu was here. I mean, it was pre-recorded, but he wasn't live. He was pre-recorded, but he was here. And he talked about Phantom Liberty, the expansion coming to Cyberpunk 2077 later this year, September 26th. Fun fact, also, we got to learn from journalists who got to see it behind closed door. The entire game has been completely revamped. Every system and mechanic in the game has been completely redone, thanks in part to the new director. He kind of took over the expansion of Phantom Liberty, and he said that he wants to leave Cyberpunk in the place that it should have been all along, essentially. And so, yeah, everything has been touched and retouched for this expansion, and that translates over into the base game itself. So, someone like me is probably going to go back and give it a third try.
God, I can't wait, man. I don't get hyped for DLC, but Cyberpunk 2077 was so fun. So I'm very excited for this.
Didn't they say also like they took some inspiration from Edge Runners, like the more pieces?
Don't tell me that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were saying like one of the changes they made, the more augmentations you make, the higher the risk that you go crazy.
What was it called in the show?
Yeah, I can't-
Cyber. I don't remember either, but that's cool.
yeah,
Cyber. Damn. Yeah, I'm blanking on the name. Cyber something.
yep.
Cyber Sex. No, it wasn't that.
that.
Daniel got really excited about City Skyline 2. Looking crazy. October 24th.
Yeah, I'm kind
You
of
can
in
move the roads in real time.
I'm kind of in the same boat as Greg Miller on this in terms of I liked SimCity better than City Skylines 1, but it looks like
Gotcha.
it looks like 2 is gonna like expand significantly on the first one. So yeah, I'm very interested. Especially I think it's in Game Pass as well.
Those are pretty gorgeous too, might I add.
Yes.
Bro, all this time you've been saying, where is Project Re Fantasy? Well, it's re-emerged. Atlas coming in to reveal a new RPG called Metaphor Re Fantasio. Your thoughts?
Oh yeah, I think it looks awesome. I love like Forspoken was like that type of style with like sci-fi and fantasy mixing together. Didn't love Forspoken, didn't. But this anime and that style's put together, Atlas always killing it with their JRPGs, with their social links and their super fun turn-based gameplay. It's exciting to see them kind of move away from Persona and do something a little bit different, but also what makes them special with the social links and the characters and the demons summoning and all that kind of stuff. So it looks like they're doing what they're good at, but also trying something a little bit different with the setting and stuff. So I am so down. The art style looks awesome, and they just get like UI. I feel like their menus and fonts are always so stylish. So
Yeah.
I'm for that alone, like it's going to be a pretty game to at least look at.
I'm with you. For me, the draw of these games is usually like a bit of I get to sim my other life. You know, I'm like, I don't know, if like P5R, I was really enjoying being a Japanese student and juggling student tasks with the otherworldly tasks.
Right? Yeah.
So I'm kind of lost on with this being like a not that you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I enjoy the student role playing as much as I do like the actual like palaces and stuff. So with Metaphor, I'm like,
What
little
is
trip-
going to be? What's going to be
Yeah.
that version? And if they have,
I don't know if I have, I don't know if I have a complete drawing yet, but you're right on like, in terms of aesthetics, like Atlas does really get, like, there's a satisfaction I get to just like maneuvering menus in Atlas games just because it looks so pretty and everything just works together. We'll see, but I'm very happy for you.
Yes, so happy. God, finally. When is this coming out again? 2020?
No, I don't think there's any release date on it.
God damn.
Who knows? At least it was here though. At least we got a name for it, man.
Oh man. 2024. Thank God. Okay.
Nice. Don't have to wait that long.
A lot of 2024s in this show.
Yes.
That's true, yeah. Towerborn. It's a new co-op game from the developers of Banner Saga. I don't think I remember Towerborn.
It was like that they're in the windmill and there's like multiple multiple levels to the windmill that they kind of built a city. It almost looked like on a windmill, which is kind of interesting. But then it's like it's 2D, I think, brawler type action.
Oh, yeah. Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
It reminds me of Dragon's Crown, where you're like a group of just like a small group fighting 2D sky scrolling sort of stuff. Very similar to that. Obviously the art style is different, but the gameplay is pretty similar, I feel like.
Yeah. Not sure it's for me, but I don't know. Something about this game still like leaves me with like enough confidence to be like, for the right audience, for people, like for people who are into these kinds of games, looks great. To be honest, I guess that was kind of my thing with the Xbox the whole showcase. And there's still one more left. Is like, not everything was for me, but everything here was for someone, and everything that was shown off for someone looks really good. Last thing here was a new FPS from In Exile called Clockwork Revolution. Dan's, go ahead, talk to me.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited for this. Obviously, In Exile hasn't done anything at this scope before. Their previous games were Wasteland, and Wasteland 2, and they actually are the team that made the original Fallout games, so Fallout 1 and Fallout 2. So this is kind of bigger, their first big boy title, I'd call it. And so the setting and everything I'm very much into. It's very BioShock-esque with the steampunk feel, and the world feels very BioShock Infinite-esque. But like with the twist of time travel mechanics, that looks really cool. Like they showed off the dude, the main character, shooting a bridge and exploding it, and then using time mechanics to like bring the bridge back. Like just stuff like that. I love time travel stuff, so like I'm always in on that, like in all of my media. So I'm very, very interested to see what happens with this game. I think it's still going to be a while till we actually get this game. Obviously, they say coming in due time. So it's probably not coming before 2025, I'd say at the earliest, but very excited. Yeah.
The Xbox showcase ended with a certain direct, but I'm going to save that towards the end because I think that's going to be a fun discussion just to have a bit more time with. Instead, we're going to rapid fire through the Xbox showcase extended, and then a little bit through the Ubisoft Forward as well. So I'm going to just rattle off some big things here from the extended showcase. High on Life is getting a DLC. It's called High on Knife. That was revealed, and it's a horror expansion, or horror-inspired expansion, I should say. It probably still has that Squanch humor. Regardless, a game that Dan enjoyed, now getting a horror DLC. And then, the first Descendant got its crossplay beta announced, coming this August.
I'm kind of into this. Game.
Okay. Another game that Ro was really into, Hi-Fi Rush, to get an arcade challenge update that launches on July 5th. This time they gave us advance notice.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Love that. I might dive back into that. I like the battle thing. I forgot which one it's called, but where you lose all your health and you need to keep the beat going. That looks like a fun challenge.
Yeah, the one that goes like faster and faster as you go on. Oh,
yeah, that looks fun.
Yeah, really neat.
Another Crab's Treasure, the Souls-like game. This one actually I'm kind of interested, but like it's underwater and you play as a crab. That's coming to Xbox Game Pass along with a bunch of other games. Very cool. Kirok was going to say something? Or say something?
I've missed where I was. I was just gonna say, Keurig. I was filling time because you went back to. Now I'm blabbering on. Keurig said, "Say it correctly. It's horror or." I don't know.
Listen, hold on. Listen, Keurig. I'm a first-generation Mexican American. Okay. My first language was Spanish. Even with my master's in English, I still speak very horribly sometimes. So I could have just said horror. So I tend to stutter and slur my words. I'm sorry. Forgive me.
My first language is English, and I still.
Nice, dude. Anything else from Xbox that? I mean, there's the everything else section here, but something you want to touch on? Phasmophobia coming to consoles.
Keanu in the extended version was just great. He was fantastic. And Tina Amini did a really good job.
Oh, she was? That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I just think the idea is cool. Like, just the extended showcase. Like, don't put this stuff in the full one and make a slog of a show and have a great showcase. And then if the Xbox hardcores can come back later and get an extended look at a pretty good showcase as well. Like, this wasn't boring in my opinion when I watched it. So great showcase and great extras from Xbox. In my opinion, it's pretty cool.
And Phil playing 33 Immortals, that was pretty funny too.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
Very cool. I was in office, so I couldn't watch.
I was too, but I snuck
my!
Snuck it.
Ubisoft Forward, they showed off Avatar Frontiers in Pandora and release date of December. I will see it when I believe it, personally. I did not get a chance to watch gameplay for this, but I know Ro did.
I did. I'm not like a huge Avatar guy. I like the first one fine. I still haven't seen the second one.
Oh my god.
And I'm also not a Ubisoft guy, so this didn't do all that much for me. It looked like a Ubisoft game that we've seen before with an Avatar skin on it, par from the flying stuff, but all the land stuff kind of looked like Far Cry to me. But
Okay.
I'm excited for the Avatar people to what they think, because I feel like their opinion might matter a little bit more on this one. I don't think they're trying to get me with this, but yeah, I will say I was expecting to be more down on it than I am. Like I think it looks like a good game for those who enjoy those types of things. But as someone who doesn't, it's not really going to catch my attention.
I think it's crazier that this game is way farther along than I, in my head, thought it was.
Yeah, because they haven't really shown much of it, right? In a long
You're right,
time.
yeah. Just the announcement and then this.
Yeah.
So maybe they could hit December, but I'm still, I don't know. When it's that late, I'm like, and they haven't shown me that much, I'm like, there's a chance it could be delayed.
There's a couple of shots that was like, wow, this looks really cool. And then there's a couple of shots that made me feel like Far Cry. But I'm wondering if they did some like Ubisoft magic, which they do often, a la Watch Dogs and other things, where they kind of show the nice stuff, but when you play the game, it's not like that at all.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that that's not the case here, though.
Yeah, I got the same feeling from this. I thought that some of the scripted moments, I'm like, all right, these are really cool, but like, is this going to be indicative of what the game's going to be?
Yeah. X Defiant, get another open play session next week, June 21st to 22nd on PC, PS5, and Xbox. Preseason, 14 maps, 5 factions, 5 modes, 24 weapons. Roadmap for year 1 will add 4 new factions, 12 new maps, and presumably 12 new weapons. On maps alone, already doing way more than Call of Duty ever did.
Oh.
Lost Crown, we've already mentioned. Prince of Persia looks great. That Ubisoft gameplay forward, it's like 30 minutes long, was like, yeah, dude, looks fantastic. Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix. This is the producer of the Castlevania anime on Netflix. They're doing an anime now of Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix. Okay. The Division Resurgence, new anime trailer for a mobile game coming out in autumn this year. Not for me. Skull and Bones. Remember that one? Still happening. And it's getting a beta. It's coming out. I mean, at this point, they've put so much money into it. Like, I think they got to put out and get what they get.
Right.
Beta is coming out August 25th through 28th.
Hey, we got a sea shanty video as well.
And I'm
cool
skipping
stuff.
it, Ro. And I'm skipping that. Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope DLC is coming out later this year. The Crew Motorfest got a new trailer. Title will be released on September 14th. Daniel, we're real excited about Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. I'm kidding. I don't know if he's into this or not.
I thought it actually looked cool, but like it may be vomit inducing because like some of those scenes they're looking over the edge of a building and then jumping to like parkour like Assassin's Creed. I'm not sure. Like it looks super cool, but it's like they're bringing back 3 popular characters from the franchise: Cassandra, Connor, and Ezio. So it sounds really cool on paper, but it's like, fuck, is this gonna make me throw up everywhere?
Oh, shoot. There was a new look at Codename Jade, which is the Assassin's Creed title set in ancient China. An announcement was made for public testing. Oh, it's the mobile game there. Hey, you know what? Never mind. I spoke too soon. It's a mobile game.
Yep.
There's a new gameplay walkthrough for Assassin's Creed Mirage, and I gotta say, I saw some of this, and for the marketing of this game to be going back to their roots, and then seeing the assassin be teleporting around. I don't know how much going back to roots that was, but sure. I don't know. Assassin's Creed, I don't think I think my years of being into the series is probably long gone for me. Dan, what are your thoughts on Mirage?
I thought, like you're saying, I think there's some parts of it that I really liked, them returning to the roots on. But yeah, it was a little weird seeing like him teleport to 3 different people to do an assassination, which that's apparently a new mechanic that you can do. It's almost, you know what it feels like? It feels like the mark and execute that was in Splinter Cell when they brought that to Splinter Cell Conviction. Yes, exactly. That's exactly what this feels like, which maybe it's not a bad thing. Maybe it'd be kind of cool.
Sure.
I guess we'll have to see on that, but yeah, it definitely takes away from the return to stealth because you don't have to be as stealthy when you can just mark 3 people and just instantly
and
kill
then
them.
Teleport. Yeah. And of course, we got to look at Star Wars Outlaws. We've already talked about it. So, before we end on Starfield, any extras you want to mention? I'm not talking about Capcom. I'm sorry. I sat through 30 minutes of that. It was a little bit of a waste of time for me. I mean, we got a more of a look for Dragon's Dogma 2, which Gage is really excited about, but not much information was shown there. I will say at the PC Gaming Show, I think, or is it something? Citizen Sleeper 2 was announced. I'm in.
Hells yeah.
I guess this is E3 related. Halo Season 4 got a trailer. Wasn't it the showcase?
Stupid. Why? We were arguing about this in the chat, or not arguing, but discussing this in the chat, and it's just idiotic. I don't understand. It makes 0 sense to me. There's not an explanation in the world that could make any sense to me why you wouldn't show your biggest property's new season that's comes out in literally 7 days on either it doesn't even have to be the main showcase. Show it at the fucking extended showcase. What the hell? Like, it's literally a 2-minute trailer.
I don't know.
And not to mention, the trailer is fucking awesome, by the way. It came out today, and I watched it, and I was like, this is a fucking banger trailer. Like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but, like, the editing, whoever edited this together and this music choice that they chose, perfect. And Season 4 is set to be the biggest fucking expansion to date for Halo Infinite in terms of quantity of content. Yeah, I'm a little irritated why they didn't put this in either showcase. Just baffling.
I don't know.
Yeah.
The 2 games that I'm excited for that were bonuses that I don't remember where they showed up, but Resistor was one of them. Has a really cool art style. It's described as a turbocharged narrative-driven
the
adventure.
car one.
Yeah. Looks rad. And another one called Eternites, which is like a PlayStation published, I think, or partnered game, but it's
That
like
sounds
Persona.
familiar.
It's like a Persona game. It takes place in the apocalypse. You could date girls, but you could also fight monsters, dungeon crawling stuff. Looks cool. Got its release date. But yeah, those were the 2 for me.
Let's check in with Kirik real quick. Avatar looks pretty, he says, and people are referring to it as Far Cry Avatar. He says Mirage looks good. It reminds me of the original Assassin's Creed. He didn't notice the teleporting, but yes, there is some in there.
It was purposeful. It wasn't like a glitch or anything.
Correct.
Yeah.
And he said, I'm mostly excited for the following games: Star Wars Outlaws, Alan Wake 2, Mirage, and Starfield.
Which, perfect segue into the Starfield Direct. This was 45 uninterrupted minutes of Bethesda going through most of what you can expect out of this game. I should have written up like a thing about it. Instead, we'll just kind of freely talk about it. But this game is massive. Of course, the news broke that it is 30 FPS, but it is locked 30 FPS. I mean, just if you look at the size of this game, you can kind of understand why. And as long as there's like no real like frame rate dips or a lot of stutter, I think it's perfectly fine. There's at one point they show off a collection of sandwiches that you can keep stored in your ship, and like, come on, you're like traversing the universe, and this game is remembering all these different artifacts in this game existing in your ship, and the whole kind of crazy. Just a massive game. One of the things that really excited me was, as always, the character customization and how in depth they're going. Not with just like what you can do to make your character, like how it looks, but I'm talking like trait wise and how these traits affect gameplay and the kinds of encounters you can have along the way. I think that stuff is really exciting. I didn't watch it live. Daniel, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought it freaking blew me away. I'm just in awe of the amount of shit that they've packed into this game. Like, there is so much stuff to this. Like, obviously, the 30 FPS thing makes sense when you look at the number of systems they have going on, the number of planets, the number of things they're rendering in the world. Like you were saying, the sandwiches, like, it tracks the exact positioning of each individual sandwich. That's insane. But yeah, in terms of gameplay, it looks like the most polished Bethesda gameplay I've seen in ever from them. And obviously their previous games were 30 FPS as well, but like this looks polished compared to Fallout 4, which was their last game. The shipbuilding stuff looks really cool. Like, you can literally build whatever ship you want, essentially. Like, they built a fucking like Megazord or whatever. Like,
Yeah, like a freaking Gundam. It's so cool.
Oh, here's something I really liked about this is that, like, when we talked about Starfield, I was really nervous about the size of this game. I mean, there's still a degree of that regarding like the narrative quest. I'm still a little bit not concerned, but like trepidatious, I guess. But the thing for me is, like, when there's so many like systems, I'm always like, do I have to engage with all of it? And right off the bat, when they were talking about ship customization, the first thing they mentioned was like, you can do a quick customization where you can see what parts you can upgrade and kind of move around like quickly. And then if you want to get more in depth, you can like click a button and it goes like complete overhaul. You're like in it and moving stuff around, almost like Lego building kind of. And like, that is great, like on like a more casual approach. Like, if I don't want to thoroughly engage with that system because I'm having more fun doing, quest stuff or other kind of exploration, then I can just focus on that stuff and just quickly upgrade and move on, which I think is, as a design standpoint, I think is great just for approachability for wider audiences.
and this thing's so dangerous for me. I'm gonna fucking spend 10 hours building my ship. Like,
I'm not beating this game, dude.
Yeah, I'm not. You're probably right. I mean, it's
I love the ship customization stuff, like you're talking about, the base building stuff too. But what I really liked was like the ship combat in actual space and how much like how in depth you can go into it if you wanted to. Like, I get really weird with these types of games when I get into them, like Zelda and Cyberpunk. I start role playing like to a weird degree where I'm like talking to myself while playing the game, like I am the character. Oh no, not like not like
talk to myself.
No, I definitely do sometimes when I get into it. So like when they were doing the when they're switching the powers to like the lasers and the shields and all that kind of stuff, I could totally see myself being super weird with it. It's like, all right, crew, switching to the lasers, all powers to the laser, all that kind of stupid shit. But it looks so fun, like how that is an option. Like you could, all right, like you don't see that stuff in a lot of games, the attention to detail and just going super ham with all the different systems and stuff. And it also looks fun. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to give this a shot. I was impressed by what they showed off. There was just so much.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say? What do you mean, like, not like me, but what do you do?
I am so silly, dude. Like, I see the way people play games and they're like sprinting through stuff, and like I'm the kind of person that like pretends like I'm the protagonist, and like if the environment calls for like a more slow approach and like walking, I will walk.
Yes.
You know, like RDR2 was like most of that time spent was like me walking. I'm not sprinting. I'm not exhausting my horse. Zelda, I rarely like am sprinting on my horse. Like, it's very much as like I'm just a slower approach, kind of role playing, no matter what game I'm playing, that kind of thing. Yeah. But not to the degree where I'm like, crew.
Yeah. Like, I'm voice acting the characters. You didn't put voice acting in the game, I'll voice act it for you. Yeah.
I can see it. Yeah.
Keurig says ship customization, base customization, planet exploration, and space exploration are his highlights, which, going back to the base customization as well, bro, you talked about it a little bit. Like, it's cool that you're able to do like a top-down view on that now, because that was one that was one reason I didn't like doing settlements in Fallout 4, because it was so cumbersome to try to create like a settlement in first person. You have to very carefully move all the buildings in first person, whereas a top down view definitely makes that easier for the bigger pieces. So that part's pretty cool.
I think the thing this direct did the most for me was convince me that I needed to be role playing as whoever I wanted to be in this game. Like regardless of like what I will end up thinking about the various quests in this, at the core basis, I think they really nailed like just minute to minute gameplay of like the wide breadth of stuff that you can be doing, and the level of depth that you can do all these things with is going to be fundamental to your experience, and like making all of these things fun and approachable is going to be key. Like I think they said that it's not totally sim, like there's a balance between sim and fun. And I think that it came across really well in this direct, and it made me realize like the same way I lost myself to Elden Ring, the same way I'm losing myself to Zelda, the same way I will lose myself to Final Fantasy 16, I will surely be like ending my nights on a weekday being like, man, it's already 1 a.m. I got to get to bed because I work tomorrow, but I would love to just like explore this next planet in Starfield. Like it looks like that kind of game, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
Definitely. I was just impressed by this, absolutely. But what I was going to say, and maybe I'm jumping the gun too much here, but the way they're talking about it, I feel like they feel the same way about it as I'm about to say. But like, you think about Skyrim, like Red Dead, and all these other like Portal 2, it's like these like genre defining or generation defining games. I feel like this might be another Bethesda generation defining game. The way that they're talking about it, at least 25 years in the making. Hopefully it lands, but it's so exciting to think. I feel like that's how they feel about this game too. Like just the way they're talking about it, giving it this 40-minute long thing. So I'm excited to see how this all comes together and to see if they get another like Skyrim on their hand. I feel like it'll be hard to port this onto like various consoles over and over in the future. Like, but it's still cool that this might be a huge hit for them.
The skill tree. That's another thing that looked really cool. That like there's multiple different types of skills, just like previous Bethesda games. You have your physical, social, combat, science, tech skills. But then, so under each of those categories, you have a bunch of skills. Once you unlock one of those skills, you have 4 ranks for each skill, which I think is really cool and really smart, so that you have to use that skill in order to rank it up. So for instance, if you unlock the lockpick skill, you have to then go and actually do lockpicks in order to progress that to the next rank, which is really smart because it forces you to actually use these skills and kind of experience more of the game that you may not have otherwise, if you're more, looking at other skills or whatever. And the companions too.
I was about to bring that up.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
So yeah, the companion stuff is really cool. Like the dude who randomly shows up, of course he's been in Bethesda games in the past, who he just annoys the shit out of you. That's just, and that's so fun. And yeah.
I think it's cool that the companions you can bring onto your ship or hire or whatever, like I like that they will attribute like a set of skills. I don't know if it's skills or traits or what, but like to your crew overall. So you can like, if you're missing something and you have a companion, you hire a companion that has like this certain trait, and now you can like do more stuff because they're a crew member. I think that sort of stuff is really cool, and that makes sense. Yeah. Gonna be a cool game, huh?
Game Pass game, dude.
Insane.
That's a Game Pass game. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
This is out when? September?
Yeah.
Yep, September. You get 5 days early access if you get the premium edition, which is also another cool thing that Microsoft has been doing lately, where you can upgrade the Game Pass version for like $30 or something to get the premium content, so you can get the game early and you get the first DLC for included, and a bunch of other stuff that's in the premium edition. So yeah, very cool.
I will buy an SSD in August to prepare for Starfield.
Hell yeah.
A new SSD. I want a second one.
Oh fuck! I just thought of something else. That when you're in space and fighting in space, and you can choose to board. Yeah, you can either
Oh, that's
blow them
true,
up or
yeah.
you can board them. Yeah, that's so cool.
Or be civil. You can,
Yeah.
you could just talk to them too if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
I'm
really
like, why am I getting kind of excited to just sim space as I talk to you guys about? Yeah, it's a cool game.
Yeah.
Hope it lands. It'll probably land. Before we end the show, of course, we did our Summer Showcase 2023 predictions. I will do my best to get through these as efficiently as possible. I have to start with first a recap of our Sony ones, because we did these already and you guys already heard them, but still worth catching up to see where we are with our predictions. I'll do Dan, then Ro, then me, then Gage. Dan for Sony said, Team Asobi announces a new Astrobot game. Nope. Bluepoint announces a Bloodborne game. Nope. Bungie's next project, Marathon Revival. Yes, that was
There we
1
go.
point for Dan. Sony, Eternite's release date. Now, that wasn't at Sony. But Eternites did get release date. Are we giving Ro the half point here?
No. I
No?
don't think you should.
Okay, then
No.
all right. Make it easier. That works. Zanzaru game is making a new Sly Cooper game. We wish. No. Persona 3 remake teaser. I'm sorry, bro. You should have said yes to your thing earlier.
No. God damn.
Kojima Productions teaser for an unannounced project developed for PSVR 2. All we wish would be a system seller. Didn't happen. Stellar Blade gets a gameplay trailer with a release date for October. No Stellar Blade. L. Bluepoint announces a new game. Is not Metal Gear Solid. Is a new IP. No. No points. Oh, by the way, I said not for points. FF7 Rebirth gets a release date for December 8th. Sorry.
Nope.
That release date is for Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora.
Yeah, the way Final
Gage,
Fantasy.
you have to wait. Gage said for Sony, Tlu Factions gets gameplay and release date. I wouldn't even know the state of the game anymore. SOCOM is returning with a new teaser. No. Wolverine gameplay plus release window. No. Dan leads so far with 1 point. The only one with points.
Let's go.
For Xbox, Dan said that Compulsion Games announces a spring 2024 game for spring 2024 for the next game. Didn't get that date, but Compulsion Games was there and did announce their next game. That's half a point.
Nice.
Coalition is here to show off teaser for Gears 6, scheduled for fall 2024. Sorry. No. Certain Affinity. Dan keeps predicting it.
This was
Project
me hoping.
Tatanka.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. No points. Roshan, She Dreams Elsewhere, release date of August 2023. No. Where is this game? Yeah. Would have loved this. Playdead announces a new game with a teaser. It's the sci-fi game, no release date. No Playdead in any of these. Sorry. Arc Raiders releases a release date of fall 2023. Nothing. Still 0 points for Ro.
I think it's going to stay that way.
Me, Hellblade 2 trailer gets a release date for February 2024. There was no date in that trailer. I don't remember. Right? But the Hellblade trailer was there. That is half a point for me. Coalition reveals their next game. It's not a Gears of War game. No, Coalition was not there. Oh, I forgot about this. Indiana Jones trailer, summer 2024 release date. And no Indiana Jones here whatsoever. Gage said, he keeps saying it, keeps not happening.
No.
State of Decay 3 trailer. No.
Eventually, you'll be right, hopefully.
Someday.
He also said Avowed gameplay trailer with release date. We did get Avowed, no release date though. That's half a point. He also said Xbox will get a new licensed superhero game. Kind of a wild card, that one, but no. So far, that's half a point for me, half a point for Gage, 0 points for Ro, 1.5 points for Dan. Nintendo, did they have their thing yet?
Mm-mm.
No.
No. So this is not final. I'll skip over Nintendo for now. We'll see who wins the summer when Nintendo has their next showcase. Instead, we'll end today's show with our Summer Games Fest predictions to see who's winning today so far. Dan started with Elden Ring DLC. It's coming this fall. Boy, we wish, but no, it is not. No DLC trailer. Also said Mortal Kombat 12 would be announced. It's coming this fall. It is coming this fall. I'd try to give you the half a point because game was announced not at Summer Game Fest.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
But it is coming this fall. Half a point. The next Call of Duty would be announced and revealed. No. Although the rumors are that it's Modern Warfare 3. However, was not announced here. So only half a point for Dan. Roshan said that Fulbright's Open Road gets its release date. Open Road wasn't even here. We saw it for like a brief second somewhere, and then just never came back at any other showcase.
I'm sorry. Just one second. Is Buck okay back there? Is he just like infinitely stretching?
Yeah, he's passed out.
Okay. He wasn't moving. I was like, why is he just his arms are up like that? Okay.
Napping.
He sleeps like that. Yeah.
Okay, as long as he's okay.
He's good.
God, so, now that you pointed it out, it's just funny to look at. Rose's next prediction: Katana Zero gets DLC revealed, and it's summer release.
No.
Still no.
Couldn't be more wrong.
Funny you say that. Kingdom Hearts 4 gameplay trailer shows multiple worlds, a new Hikaru song, and a release window of winter 2024. None of that.
More wrong.
None of that, dude. Yeah.
I guess I could. Yeah.
Elden Ring. Sorry, me now. These are my predictions. Elden Ring DLC trailer releases December 2023. No. Geoff had me going there. I thought.
Damn it, Geoff.
Assassin's Creed Mirage full reveal with gameplay trailer and release date. It was not at SGF. It was at Ubisoft Forward. None of that. Kojima Productions debuts a gameplay trailer for Death Stranding 2. The trailer is set to music from a Slow Dive song. No Kojima. No Kojima this time. Gage closing out the show with his predictions. Avatar Frontiers gets gameplay plus release date. Again, was at Ubisoft Forward, not at SGF. Amir. GTA 6 official announcement and reveal. No. And Valve announces a new game. No.
Kirk makes a good point. Oh, sorry.
What's up?
Kojima was at the Apple event. That's why,
Oh my God. I forgot about that. Yeah. Death Stranding coming to Mac.
Yeah. Also, Kirk says, don't forget a new Series S was announced. I forgot about that, actually.
That is true. That wasn't in one of the articles, but yeah, the black version, correct? The all black?
Yeah, all black, and it's 1 terabyte instead of 500 gigs. And it's $50 more. So.
That means so far for our summer predictions, Roe is at 0 points. Gage and I are tied for third with 0.5 points. Surprise. Daniel in first with 2 points.
Let's go.
Hate to see it, man.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Nice. All right. That is the show for today. Thank you again to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your pods. Thank you, Roshan. Thank you, me. Gage is not here, but I'll thank him anyway. That's Daniel. This has been Podcast PXN, and we are out.
Much love, and keep on gaming.
See ya.
Perhaps this is hell.
You're the GOAT. Thank you.
Perhaps this is hell. Quack.
Quack.